Red Bull and Max Verstappen have been the dominant force this season, and it is safe to expect the same result for the remaining 6 races as well. But what about 2024? Mercedes, Ferrari, Aston Martin, and McLaren have been fighting hard behind Red Bull, and as the season has progressed, the pecking order behind Verstappen has changed continuously. The aim of those 4 teams is simple: beat Red Bull in 2024. But can they do it? Well, in today's video, let's find out where these 4 teams are currently, and which team is most likely to challenge Red Bull and Max Verstappen in 2024. We're coming for Red Bull. That was the promise that Lando Norris made at the Japanese Grand Prix when the Brit finished second to the Flying Dutchman. I believe Norris is realistic enough to know that the Red Bulls are uncatchable this season, and I believe Norris's comment was about the bigger picture, trying to mount the challenge against Red Bull in 2024. That is rather opportunistic for a team which has been drought of a championship win since 2008. But it is the team's recent form that makes this prediction rather interesting. The Woking-based squad entered 2023 with a slow car, being just the 7th fastest team for the initial part of this season. The key to on-track performance in this modern Formula One era is the technical development surrounding the actual car. The team, since its initial Austria upgrades, has pushed on with further packages, with the final major package arriving at Singapore. The final upgrades included revisions to the front wing end plate, revisions to the side pod inlets, revised mirror mounting, revised halo furniture, and a fully revised floor. All these upgrades are aimed at optimizing the side pods upgrade introduced back at Austria to improve its aerodynamic potential. At Suzuka, the weekend which preceded Singapore, McLaren was comfortably the 2nd fastest car, and the on-track improvements are reflecting in major strides made by McLaren in season. Since the wake-up call back in 2018, the team has switched power units, has appointed new technical heads, but Norris recalled that the upgraded MCL 60 still has the same problems as the previous McLarens, and mentioned that the team has 70% more problems to fix. For 2024, the team has brought new minds from the likes of Red Bull and Ferrari. Also, the team has access to new in-the-loop simulator and a brand new wind tunnel, both in use for the development of 2024's McLaren car. And with the team being able to find nearly 1 second worth of performance in season, Lando Norris believes that his team will be able to be much closer to Red Bull than where they are this season at the present moment. To be where we are now, I didn't think any of us were expecting it, or even thinking it at the beginning of the year. But we know we still have a lot of things we can improve, that we are going to improve, and in such a short amount of time from the beginning of the year, we have been able to turn things around massively and start to close the gap comparing to every other team to Red Bull. So I think that's a good sign, and it's only been 1 year of a good amount of progress, and we know a lot of things to come. So I'm excited for the future. And as we mentioned before, 70% of McLaren's problems are yet to be fixed. Norris stated an example of a such problem. The Brit stated that in the MCL 60, rather than taking a corner in a U-shape, the MCL 60, due to its characteristics, is only able to go around a corner in a V-shape, which is not ideal. So if McLaren can fix those persistent and intermittent issues within McLaren's core concept, McLaren could be a regular race winner and could potentially challenge Red Bull in 2024. Aston Martin was the surprise team when the 2023 season started. Aston Martin was the closest challenger to Red Bull for the 5 races or so, but it lost momentum on the development race to the likes of McLaren, Ferrari, and Mercedes, which is apparent from the team's performance in the last couple of races. From 2nd in the Constructors' Championship, the team has fallen down to 4th, and it looks like that place is under threat as well from the rising McLarens. But the Silverstone team has plans to develop the car deep into this season. With the technical regulations being static for 2024, this may help with the team's 2024 AMR 24 project. This was confirmed by the team's technical director Dan Fallows, as he went on to say, "We're up for the challenge. We're not stopping our development process. We're going to carry that on deep into the final part of the season with a view to taking those developments forward to next year as well." If you look closely on where the Aston Martin is lacking pace when compared to its rivals, it's around aerodynamic efficiency and high-speed corners. The team has been strong on circuits with low-speed corners, while Singapore for now seems to be a blip. just like it was for Red Bull. Dan Fallows talked about this issue and mentioned that his car, according to data, is strong on certain circuits, and its weaknesses are being exposed on many other races. Tom McCullough, performance director of Aston Martin, recently talked about the same issues and revealed that the team's 2024 project is mainly revolved around improving the AMR 23's efficiency, which he thinks is key to unlock more performance in high-speed corners as well. It's an area of improvement, and it is an area we need to improve more for next year. That's clear. The main architecture of the car, the whole car more than just the rear wings, the areas that we've worked on, there are a lot of elements that contribute to the efficiency of the car, he said. Our focus is really on AMR 24 to make sure that as we're developing that car, we are developing as efficiently as we can do, and more efficiently than this year's car. Despite the team's recent poor performances, the Silverstone squad cannot be written out of the fight for race wins next season, as underneath its car is a very good concept. It's just a shame that poor development rate has translated into a poor second half for the team up until now. But with the team following which is accepted to be the right concept within these current ground effect technical regulations period, Aston Martin's potential can't be overlooked. Ferrari is the only team other than Red Bull to have both a pole and a race win under their belt. Despite the team, just as McLaren, have been in a title drought since 2008, Ferrari has the resources needed to emerge as title contenders. The SF23 has shown traits of inconsistency and problems regarding tire degradation over race stints. This season, Ferrari generally has been good on circuits which have long straights and short duration corners, such as Montreal, Singapore, and Monza. These problems seem to be intertwined within Ferrari's car concept, as technical director Enrico Cardile has talked about the team making massive changes to its 2024 car conceptually to emerge as title contenders right from the word go in 2024. It will be very different because while developing this year's car, we realized that some architectural choices we made were not right, said Cardile. It was constraining the development too much. Next year's car will not be an evolution of this year's car like this year's car has been compared to last year's car. It will be a brand new car, different chassis with a different design, different rear end, to allow us to better develop the car to achieve the targets. This brand new car is expected to switch Ferrari's focus towards a more Red Bull-esque aerodynamic philosophy, which will require the team to make major changes to its existing chassis and suspension designs. So, Ferrari will require something bigger than McLaren in the coming winter break, if the team wants to emerge as challengers to Red Bull next season. Mercedes has to be regarded as the closest team to challenge Red Bull next season, considering the Silver Arrow's recent history. But the team has struggled since the inception of ground effect technical regulations badly. In 2022, the team debuted the zero-pod side pods concept and thought to secure a huge advantage over its rivals. But 2022 did not pan out very well, but the team carried over the same philosophy into 2023 and saw the failure with its own concept. So in Monaco, the team took the initiative to change directions in terms of concept. The updated car was much better than the previous W14 iteration, but still is no match to the dominating RB19's pace. Therefore, Lewis Hamilton has called his team to work hard and produce the greatest 6 months of development that the team has ever produced, as he wants to be back in title contention right in 2024. Hamilton also called his team to take inspiration from rival teams such as McLaren, as they have proved which concept is the one to be pursued for the current set of technical regulations. The Japanese Grand Prix highlighted the W14's main weaknesses: lack of performance in high-speed corners compounded with the lack of efficiency for high straight-line speeds. To improve performance around these areas, the Silver Arrows have planned on making major architectural changes, which includes a brand new monocoque, accompanied with a new aerodynamic philosophy, which is rumored to be more in line with what Red Bull has introduced and utilized to perfection. We are changing the car quite considerably for next year, but whether or not we can solve all the issues that we've got on the handling, that will depend on a number of projects delivering, Chauvelin said. Those projects are underway and they're not complete. We've got some good directions to try and improve that. The car will be different. We've made a lot of changes to it, but it's very early in the development of a new car to be able to say we've got it sorted. Arguably, Mercedes is in a similar position to Ferrari, where the team has to make massive changes to get back to winning ways, and has to make a massive leap than what McLaren has been able to achieve within the 2023 season. Nevertheless, if any of the 4 teams are to emerge as Red Bull challengers, their work during the winter break should be phenomenal. Everyone expects Adrian Newey and Max Verstappen to dominate 2024 and 2025, considering the lead in terms of performance and knowledge the Austrian team has about the current ground effect technical regulations. But what do you guys think? Do you think any team has the potential to challenge Red Bull in 2024? Very much into your thoughts and perspectives in the comments section down below. And on your way down, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notified of our future uploads, to keep yourselves up to date about the 2023 Formula One season.